Well, if I wasn't out of breath before, I certainly am now. Thank you, Mr. Amazon delivery man. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm just gonna apologize straight off the bat that I'm gonna probably be quite out of breath in this video because I'm currently 36 and a bit weeks pregnant, so kind of just comes with the territory these days, and I just had a knock on the door, so I had to go and grab that parcel. So I'm feeling rather out of breath now, so I'm just gonna take a minute, sip my coffee that is already going cold, and say hi, welcome or welcome back. So in today's video, it's just going to be a super casual, chatty kind of video because I know quite a lot of people are in the same kind of position that I am with expecting their second child, and specifically like in the kind of 2 under 2 kind of realm. So I thought I would come on today and do a video just kind of saying how I really feel about having 2 under 2. So if you haven't already, pause this video, go grab yourself a beverage. It's probably going to be a long one. I didn't write notes. So yeah, let's just dive in. So I just want to chuck in a quick disclaimer. I know I did touch on this in my pregnancy announcement video, but if you haven't seen that, I just wanted to kind of pop it in here. So this baby was an unplanned pregnancy, but completely wanted, and we are so over the moon to be having another baby. I just didn't want to kind of carry on this video without addressing that, because I didn't want something that I said to sound like I'm being disrespectful, maybe that to those that are trying to conceive and things like that. So just a quick disclaimer, obviously that is kind of by the by at this point. Like I say, I'm 36 and a bit weeks pregnant. I am super happy, albeit very uncomfortable right now, and wanting this last bit to be over. But I am super happy and super excited to welcome my son into the world, which still seems crazy to say. But along with that excitement, I feel like naturally comes a lot of moments where you just kind of think, what the hell am I getting myself into? How am I going to cope? And all of these various things. Hence why I wanted to kind of just sit down, have a chat with you all, because like I say, I'm 99% sure there's at least 10 people that follow me over on Instagram that are around the same kind of position as me. Like, they are pregnant with their second, nearing the end, they have another child of a similar age already. So I just wanted to kind of pop on and make you guys feel less alone, I guess, maybe in some of your feelings. So I'm going to chat through kind of all sorts of different things. So things that I'm excited about, things that I'm anxious about, and just all of that fun stuff. So let's dive in with the stuff that I'm excited about. So this is probably quite a personal kind of feeling, but I think the thing that I'm the most excited about is to kind of get this stage out of the way, if you like. So obviously having them quite close in age just kind of, I don't know, it frees things up in the future. And for me, it's no shock if you've, kind of been around here for a while, but I didn't enjoy the baby stage anywhere near as much as I thought I would. Like with my daughter, it was quite, well, it wasn't quite hard, it was horrific. And I just cannot wait to kind of get that bit out of the way and kind of put the newborn days behind us, as a whole, and kind of just enjoy family time with 2 children that are kind of around the same sort of age, developmentally and just generally, and just be able to enjoy everything together at the same time, if that makes any sense. So for example, when we go on holiday or whatever, in a couple of years time, I don't have to think, oh, I can't do something with Soph that she wants to do because I've got a newborn, or whatever. They'll be so close in age that we'll hopefully be able to just do everything together, and we'll be able to enjoy all of the same sorts of things at the same sort of time, and it'll all just be kind of really good, hopefully. Obviously that is something that's just so long away that I can't predict it, but it's something that I do think about and kind of something that makes me think, well, actually, no, I'm quite glad that they are going to be so close in age. And the other thing I think I'm like excited about in this, for like the similar sort of reason, is to kind of, like I say, just kind of get the newborn days out of the way, kind of get me back, if that makes sense. I hate to say, oh, you know, get my body back and things like that, because it's not that I want to lose a bunch of weight and do all of these things. It's not that, but it's just, I can't wait to not be kind of, I don't know, having this pressure put on me, like physically, like growing a child and things, and just be able to kind of do things that I think are kind of for me and that are nourishing me, and not just, oh, I've got to do this because I'm pregnant, or oh, I've got to do this because I'm breastfeeding, or, you know, whatever. I just kind of can't wait to kind of get that kind of stage out of the way and just kind of have the older children and have a bit of me back. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. I don't know if it did, but yeah, that's just something that I'm quite excited about. So the other thing that I'm kind of like excited / anxious about, and I feel like that just kind of comes naturally when you're expecting another child, because you just don't know how it's going to be, like you cannot predict it, and that is how they are going to be obviously like together, and whether their kind of developmental stages and ages are going to clash, or whether they are going to kind of bring each other out. And it's one of those things that I'm just so excited to see, especially with our recent news that my daughter has a chromosome duplication which causes some development delays. It's something that we've both thought about in terms of like, we wonder if him obviously being here, it's going to kind of bring certain things out in her, and things like that, and I'm just so excited to see that. But like I say, on the flip side of that, there is the anxiety of she's not quite developmentally a 2-year-old, so I don't know if that's gonna kind of work in her favor or work against her in terms of her kind of lack of understanding, for want of a better term. Like I say, it's kind of personal to our circumstances, but kind of she's a couple of months developmentally behind and doesn't really have a huge amount of understanding. Obviously not a lot of toddlers do, but they have like certain bits, and they're obviously starting to pick things up more, like getting into that kind of 2 to 3 year kind of period, whereas Sophia is not quite there yet. So it does kind of make me anxious, because I just don't know if she's going to understand anything or not. And that does worry me. So the next thing that I'm kind of feeling really anxious about, and I kind of just feel like it just comes with the territory of having a newborn, and that is sleep deprivation. Like, how on earth do you cope with sleep deprivation when you have a toddler, or another child in general, but like specifically a toddler that's, you know, not in childcare or anything like that, that is with you all day every day? Like, how do you work around that? Like, they say nap when the baby naps. Not that I ever could with my first, because she always napped on me. But like, how do you do that? How do you work around that? I mean, we are a military family, so we don't have like friends and family nearby that I can just say, oh, you know, can you pop up or pop round, watch Soph for an hour while I go and have a nap, or, you know, whatever. Like, we don't really have that option. So it's just, that is something that kind of fills me with anxiety. It's how the hell am I gonna like just cope mentally with that level of sleep deprivation? Obviously I remember having a newborn vividly, but that level of it, when you then have a toddler that is obviously of an age where they're not self-sufficient. They do rely on you, obviously, still quite a lot at like 2. And it is a worry. And I feel like quite a lot of people will probably relate to that worry, because it's one thing being anxious about sleep deprivation in general, but then I feel like it's a whole nother level when you just like throw in the thought of a toddler on top of it. And then one of the other things that I'm kind of anxious about is just our general kind of thoughts and feelings towards each other when the baby comes. So obviously I mean that as quite a wide kind of thing across all of our family members, so like all 3 of us and the baby. Obviously we can't really speak for the baby as such, because he won't care as long as he's being loved and fed and, you know, cleaned and stuff. Like, he won't really give 2 shits. But I feel like obviously having a baby puts a massive pressure on a relationship. So I feel like just having the kind of anxieties and stuff that I said earlier on in this video, they kind of will play even more of a part, obviously just having the 2 children, on like the pressure of your relationship. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The first like year with Sophia, obviously it was very hard, but it did put a massive strain on mine and my husband's relationship. And I do fear that having another baby will just put even more pressure on. And that is something that I do think about, along with how Sophia's going to feel, whether she would, I don't even think she would understand it if she did feel it, but whether she would kind of feel jealous towards the new baby, whether, you know, where he's kind of taking up more of my time. And then there will be kind of my part, which naturally is the mum guilt, where I will feel guilty for, you know, sitting there and feeding him when I could be playing with her, or, you know, letting him nap on me when I could be playing with her, or, you know, maybe I'm not doing something for her because I'm doing something for him. And I feel like I say, that kind of just comes with them being so close in age and being so very dependent on you as like a caregiver. And I think it's only natural to have those feelings, and I know that it's just kind of, it is one of those things, and it will be fine, and you'll kind of work things out, and you'll just kind of, they'll slot in and you'll figure life out. But it doesn't stop me kind of having those anxieties. Our plan is in the new year, when my daughter does turn 2, that we are going to look into putting her into childcare, because I'm under the impression that she will be entitled to some like early funding from the government. So we're going to look into that probably when baby's a couple of months old, because I don't really fancy doing it when he's a newborn, and she's like bringing home loads of germs and stuff. I'd rather get the newborn stage out of the way, wait till he's like 2 or 3 months old, and then we'll start integrating that into our routine. But I do think that will be beneficial to her. But initially, obviously, we don't have that. We, like I say, we don't have family to come up and give her kind of the attention that she deserves. And I think there's just, yeah, there's a lot of anxiety and kind of guilt feelings around those sorts of things, and just, like I say, general anxiety about the family dynamic and how everybody's gonna feel. Like I say, I feel like it just comes with having a child in general, regardless of how old your maybe other children are. But I feel like it is that bit more significant when they are, you know, like 2 children under 2 years old. Like I said earlier, they're very dependent on you. Like, the toddler's not quite able to do stuff for themselves, or is at quite a, what's the right word, not fragile, but at kind of a funny stage developmentally, where they're kind of figuring out how they feel and kind of like getting these new emotions that they don't really understand and things like that. And then throwing them, you know, a curveball of, well, here's another baby. I'm gonna, you know, your mum's not gonna be paying that much attention to you anymore because they're paying attention to them. And I don't know, like, there's just a lot of kind of thoughts around that sort of side of things. I do plan on kind of documenting things as they actually happen. So as I kind of cross these bridges, like going out with them both, and kind of update on thoughts and feelings for all of us, to kind of say how we're getting on and things like that. I will update obviously as and when they happen, as and when baby arrives. So if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I just had a little malfunction in my mouth then. Hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it and found it relatable, I guess. I feel like quite a lot of you will, because they are just such natural fears. And that's why I wanted to get it out there, because I just feel like there's just so many people like at the moment that I speak to on a regular basis that have like either one or multiple of these things that I've kind of spoken about, and I've thought, well, you know, we're not alone in this, so I want the wider kind of community to kind of feel less alone as well. And you know, if you are watching this and I've never spoken to you before and you are maybe feeling like this as well, then please don't feel alone because you're absolutely not. But yeah, I hope you have found this video, I don't know, helpful nonetheless, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye guys.